everyone. For this Trade of the Week, Aldo asked me to use another DFTS variation to help our members better understand the purpose and use of the DFTS. So as you may know, the DFTS stands for Dual Frame Top Strategy. And that means simply that we use 2 time frames. And the purpose of that is to fulfill the 3 elements of successful trading, which are price forecast, timing, and money management. Now, the longer time frame is used to forecast prices by identifying the direction of the trend, and then the smaller time frame is used for timing and trade management. The easiest way we find to identify the trend on a regular basis is by using a weighted moving average, but we've also shown you how to do that using the MACD study. But today, I'm going to show you another DFTS variation where we're using Aldo's favorite tool, trend lines. So the most basic thing to keep in mind is that a trend does not change until a trend line is broken. So now you can see in this chart how the downtrend line has been broken. That indicated that the trend was no longer down, at least not in this time frame, which is the only one we care about for the scalps that we're looking to take. So I then connected these 2 lows and had a beautiful 45-degree uptrend line. So now it was clear, until this uptrend line is broken, I was only going to favor longs. The argument that the market was clearly in an uptrend now was strengthened by the fact that prices found support exactly at the point where both uptrend and downtrend lines coincided. I had to look for buy opportunities, but prices were so far from the uptrend line that I did not feel comfortable buying without any visible support. So in this chart, you can see how I drew another trend line with a much deeper slope. It had 3 points of contact that made it a valid trend line. Now I had more confidence because prices came close to the support offered by this new trend line. And most importantly, this new trend line would serve as a good reference to know when the rally was being exhausted. Failure of this new trend line to serve as support would send prices down now to the 45-degree trend line. And if that were the case, I could also look for a short opportunity. So with this new trend line, I had a win-win situation. I could look for a buy signal on the trigger chart now, and if that trend line was broken, I could then look for a sell signal with the next trend line as a target. Now about 15 minutes later, I got my buy signal in the trigger chart, so I immediately placed my order and was filled at 18.50 with a stop at 16. I also placed my order to sell 1 contract at 20 from my first target and was filled 2 bars later. Now in this chart you can see I had a stop now that was only 1 point, and it was fairly away from the low of the bar, so I felt pretty confident that my 2 runners were going to have a nice run. But a couple bars later, I moved my 2 stops to break even, and now the stop was really close to the low of the bar, so I could be stopped out anytime, but at least I had 0 risk. Fortunately, I wasn't stopped out and was able to lock in 2 points of profit in 2 contracts. The trade continued working in my favor, and now I had more than 3 points of profits locked in. Now at this point, I was so close to being stopped out that I considered exiting 1 contract with 4 full points of profit. But before I could take the decision, prices started to move faster in my direction. So as you can see here, now I had 5 points of profit locked in, and my stop was so close to the bar that I decided to stay in the trade with both runners. But I didn't have the chance to raise my stop for more than 1 tick before I was stopped out of my position with $550 in profit. As you can see, trading with trend lines is also a very effective way to determine the direction on your reference frame, the larger time frame. But you need to be very familiar with the different ways of using trend lines. So if you have not studied the Trendline Mastery course Aldo wrote a couple of years ago, this is the right time to get it. And if you already have it, then dig deep into the course and you will find many new ways to help your DFTS approach and have more flexibility in your decisions. I wish you a wonderful week, a profitable week. I'm going to be taking a couple weeks off for the summer, so I'll reconnect with you after Labor Day. So have a great time and get to studying trend lines. Till later. Bye.